Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I actually have a very difficult job right now to follow Habib sir because he woke everyone up, and I hope I don't put you all to sleep now. But I'll try my best to keep you engaged. So, first of all, I'd like to convey my appreciation to Myanmar Charitable Trust. I think they've done a phenomenal job helping so many students come together, and especially in the field of education, and also to put this program together and to help all the students give some sort of guidance, right? And we'll try our best, whoever is here, to give you as much information as possible. And thank you for engaging us in this program. This gives us a chance to interact with all the youngsters and give our point of view and how we can guide you all into choosing the right career path. Before I start, I just want to share a personal experience, as to how I got to where I got to. When I was your age, when I was in 9th and 10th, I didn't know what to do, what to choose, right? Right from the beginning, 8th standard school से पूछते थे लोग क्या करना चाहते हैं, तो उस टाइम को था कि मेडिसिन करेंगे, डॉक्टर बनना चाहते हैं. तो वो 8th स्टैंडर्ड तक चलता रहा. अच्छा, डॉक्टर बनेंगे, डॉक्टर बनेंगे, डॉक्टर बनेंगे. उसके बाद 9th स्टैंडर्ड को आते आते बायोलॉजी गई हाथ से. समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. केमिकल लोचा, लाइक हबीब साहब सेड, केमिकल लोचा फुल स्टार्ट होगा. देन वी सेड अच्छा मेडिकल नहीं, तो नेक्स्ट क्या बेस्ट ऑप्शन, इंजीनियरिंग करेंगे. अच्छा ठीक है, तो 9th और 10th में इंजीनियरिंग का बुखार चढ़ को था. इंजीनियरिंग में क्या करेंगे, चलो कर लेंगे, क्या तो भी एक इंजीनियरिंग में बहुत सारे स्ट्रीम्स हैं, वी कैन चूज एनीथिंग. पहले कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टार्ट हुआ, फिर जैसा बढ़ते गए कंप्यूटर साइंस नहीं, मैकेनिकल कर लेंगे, अच्छा रहेगा. मैकेनिकल नहीं, अच्छा एंड में क्या तो भी सिविल कर लेंगे. 10th स्टैंडर्ड तक आए तक तो सिविल तक पहुंच गया था मैं. देन फर्स्ट पीयूसी जैसा तैसा करके फर्स्ट पीयूसी और सेकंड पीयूसी में आए. तब भी इरादा जर्रा बुलंद था कि ठीक है इंजीनियरिंग कर सकते हैं, कर लेंगे. बाय द टाइम आई गॉट टू सेकंड पीयूसी, आई वाज इन अ फिक्स. समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, मेडिकल लूं इंजीनियरिंग लूं, मेडिकल लूं इंजीनियरिंग लूं. फाइनली आई डिसाइडेड कि मैं कॉमर्स में जाता हूं. राइट, नॉट दैट आई टुक द इजी पाथ, बट आई मेड अ इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन सेइंग ठीक है मेडिकल नहीं करना चाह रहा, इंटरेस्ट कम हो गया है, इंजीनियरिंग भी नहीं करना चाहता. व्हाट आर माय अदर बेस्ट ऑप्शंस अपार्ट फ्रॉम मेडिकल एंड इंजीनियरिंग? बिकॉज ज्यादातर क्या होता है, वी हैव दिस, एक दिमाग में बैठ जाती बात, मेडिकल करे तो होता है, इंजीनियरिंग करे तो होता है, दूसरे कौन से भी नहीं. ज्यादा से ज्यादा इंजीनियरिंग नहीं करेगा तो क्या करते हैं, बीकॉम कर लेंगे. These are the only 3 degrees that we typically think of. But what I want to convey today is that beyond these 3 degrees, there are other degrees that we can choose and we can actually excel in them, and it will give us many good career opportunities, right? So that's how I sort of jumped into commerce, and I did my bachelor in business management, and of course I then followed it up with masters of business administration, and eventually got into the world of consulting, right? I want to tell you what this whole consulting is. Zyadatar, when I was interacting with a few people earlier, a lot of them came to me and they were asking me about either computer science, law, या फिर BCA या BSc के लिए पूछ रहे थे. But I think that's where we stop at. उसके आगे beyond सोचते नहीं हम लोग. हर इंडस्ट्री के साथ हम लोग इंटरेक्ट करते हैं. There's manufacturing industry, there's telecommunication industry, there's media, there's healthcare. अलग अलग इंडस्ट्रीज रहती है ना. Once you spend enough time, let's say 3-4 years in the consulting world with these particular companies, then आपको ये भी मालूम होता है कि okay, my interest lies in manufacturing company. मुझे manufacturing process अच्छे लगते हैं. Then you can start applying for jobs which are there in the manufacturing sector, right? या आपको healthcare में कुछ अच्छा लगा, so then you can start applying for jobs or move your career into the healthcare sector as well. So that is the kind of flexibility that consulting offers. So you can move from manufacturing, you can move into manufacturing, telecommunications, software, any kind of company after consulting.
Thank you, sir. Next question. How important is language and communication skills when applying for consulting roles? And what practical steps can students take to improve the skills?
Communication skills are the most key, critical, most important skill to have, because only if you're able to communicate and convey your message is when the other person is going to understand what you're trying to do. प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर डाले प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन आप बता रहे नहीं कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है, उसे कैसा सॉल्व करें, देन हाउ आर दे गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? सो कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग हाउ यू स्पीक, हाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स. अगेन, रीडिंग इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन. कुछ भी रीड करो, आप न्यूज़पेपर रीड करो, बुक रीड करो, कुछ भी रीड करो, बट वो जो हैबिट है रीड करने की, प्लीज डेवलप दैट. दैट इज द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. थैंक यू. Is that it? All right. Thank you so much. That's my time, and I wish all the very best. And I pray to Allah that everyone gets a good guidance and they move forward in their careers. Thank you.
Let's talk a bit about money. Who all don't like earning money? Who all don't like expending money? Okay. Yeah. Because earning money and managing money, these are two different things, and those both are important in life to have a quality life at current times. So, as Zubair said, we have a lot of career choices in commerce right now, and chartered accountancy being one of the most prestigious finance career, we would be walking you all through the chartered accountancy course for the day. So, who is a chartered accountant? So, one of the prestigious career in finance is chartered accountancy. So, most of the people think commerce is a low esteemed background after science, and they choose as an alternative to science. So, it's not. We have in commerce too, we have a prestigious degrees which earn a lot in terms of money as well as respect. So, one of the course that builds up is chartered accountancy. So, we need chartered accountants in life for almost everything, in managing money, in doing business, in going through taxation, in going through consulting field, as Zubair sir said right now. For everything, we need a chartered accountant. So one of the basic things, or all major thing that chartered accountant does is running the business smoothly, auditing, taxation, consulting, financial management, and trend analysis. I'll touch a brief about what audit is, what taxation, consulting, financial management, and all are in the upcoming slides. So to start away with, after graduation, like BCom के बाद भी कर सकते हैं क्या CA? हाँ, कर सकते हैं. But the only thing is the foundation level will be cut down. आपको foundation level करना नहीं पड़ेगा. Instead, once you get into minimum 55% marks from commerce graduates. For non-commerce graduates, the criteria is 60% of marks, and students from other professional courses can also join the course, like Institute of Chartered Company Secretaries of India, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Those people also can come into chartered accountancy course once they have completed their intermediate course. So once they get into there, they don't have to do the CA foundation level. The foundation course can be skipped, and the middle route can be taken up, like starting with intermediate, completing the intermediate course. Once done with that, we can start with the articleship training and
CA or other courses. So I would still prefer the second PC wala route. Then maybe he has different opinion.
Yeah. So thanks to technology to these days, and also the institutions have also taken cognizance of the fact that people who are doing simultaneously CA and BCom, they have arranged, for a few colleges have also arranged BCom plus CA these days. So that's one of the plus factor. Also, some institutions also offer online courses for CA. Entire CA intermediate as well as final classes can be taken online these days. So that might save up a lot of time as well as adjustments and planning your day accordingly.
But both me and Faisal Bhai would agree on this. Online classes for foundation and inter is a big no. It's a big no. See, when you go to physical classes, you see other people studying, you see other people and the teachers in face to face, you see all those things happening. You will be motivated to study. Online, it will be very difficult. It's very difficult to concentrate. हमारा attention span उतना नहीं है. We don't have इतना attention span कि आराम से घर में बैठ के we can do online classes. अगर physical classes है तो you know कि एक हर सुबह को उठ के हमें जाना ही है. अगर नहीं जाएंगे तो you'll miss something. So I would say even भाई would agree on this. अगर आप foundation and inter कर रहे हो तो you go to classes rather than doing it online. On contrary, final आप online ही कर सकते हो. जो इस environment जो हाँ हम articleship होने के बाद you don't have time. तो आपको online ही कर सकते हो. So that's the only option now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I am Hafsa, an aspiring lawyer from Bangalore University. Firstly, on this auspicious occasion, I wish to say, ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. So before we get into the crux of the topic, I want you all to have a focus on that diagram. That is what we have studied in our geometry classes in 10th grade. Funnel diagram, Venn diagram, bar diagram. So basically this is a funnel diagram. Just to make the understanding a little exciting, I have put it across. So basically this speaks about the 4 steps how you would be analyzing what your career path shall be. Firstly, you would be discovering, I'm extremely sorry that we have the PPT version of it and we kind of missed out the actual PDF version of it. So apologies on behalf of the team. So firstly, first step is to discover. You will be throughout the day, through discussing with various mentors and speakers. Today, you will first discover what are your interests. Secondly, you would analyze how are your interests and passion is working out through one of the profession. And next, you will look after how to decide accordingly. And last, you will defend yourself and justify confidently what you will actually have to become. So with that thought in mind, let's move forward. Moving on, I would also want to discuss few skills what actually me and my co-president were actually discussing. What are those skills? Because I'm sure that most of you would be thinking, अच्छा बात करना होगा, public speaking करनी होगी, English अच्छा आना है, या फिर communication. Everyone have been saying communication. You should be skilled in communication. Because lawyers का काम ही क्या है? बातों में सब काम करके दिखाना है ना? तो of course बातों में ही हमारा power है. मगर don't take a step back if you're not good at communicating, because I truly believe that any language, be it Urdu, Kannada, Hindi, English, anything, it's just a medium of communication. It's just एक साधन है जहाँ पे you're trying to communicate to the other person. I know in law we do have different sections, clauses, schedules, and so on, which is mostly in English. But it's all about your power of interpreting things, how you understand the law. So I'm reminded of one thing where one of my professor told, कानून सीखने के लिए दिमाग ही नहीं, दिल भी होना. So I would give you one of the realistic example. So recently I was working with my senior for some divorce petition. Both the parties come and they are very frustrated. He just want to get divorced. And one person had already taken their case, took like years and years to get them divorced. That is who? That is an advocate with only dimag. The other person, what he does, he makes both the parties sit together, try to settle the matters by using what skills? By negotiating, by actually giving them emotional intelligence, by using his skills, tries to resolve the matter. And now both the parties are they are living a happy life without getting divorced. So lawyers का काम सिर्फ बातें और English में fancy English use करके बात करना नहीं है. It's all about understanding the law. And I would urge each one of you to please give it a thought. कानून को सीखे, समझे, and let's spread the legal knowledge across our circles in society. I am actually going off my script, and without any further ado, I would wholeheartedly want to welcome you all to the law field, because justice needs you. कानून को आपकी जरूरत है. With that, I really hope, inshallah, one day we all hope that we will see many lawyers and judges from the same crowd. With that, I truly pray, may Allah make ease in your preparations. All the very best. And my co-presenter, Advocate Kulsum, would take over the dais. Thank you.
A very good afternoon to all of you present here. I am Ume Kulsum, a 22-year-old girl and a registered advocate with state of Karnataka. So as my friend Hafsa already took you through the journey of law, she took you to, what are the career options in law and the diversity within law, okay? So I am not going to talk about, what are the exams which you can take and what are the career options within law, but rather, since I am already an advocate registered, I will be sharing you my experiences, okay? It will be, I'll be sharing you 2 or 3 stories, and then I will ask the audience to pick up the skill which is required to be developed from that story. Okay? So these stories will eventually help you to pick up the skill which is required to be, incorporated within yourselves. And these skills are something which are indispensable, which are mandatory if you want to pursue law as a career. Okay? Okay, so since I'm an advocate, I have this habit of presenting everything in form of case laws. Okay? So now I'm going to share you my experience. I was 10 years old maybe. So this case law is going to be named as 10 years old versus a maths teacher. Okay? So I was 10 years old, studying in a school, and I was in my 5th standard. Okay? 5th standard, 10 years old girl. And do you all remember this LHS and RHS theorem? Yeah? Hectic, right? So I had this in my 5th or 6th standard, I don't remember. And the teacher, it was a unit test for 25 marks. And the test was on Monday. And Tuesday, the teacher is, all ready with the corrected papers. Okay? So the Tuesday, the first hour, the teacher steps in and throws paper at my face. Okay? Directly on my face. And she tells, I am surprised because I am a backbencher sitting there. I don't care about marks because I didn't had that energy or, that vibrancy to do something. I was just like, okay, parents are sending to school, gonna go to school, pass it, come back home, watch Shinchan or Doraemon. That was me, okay? So the teacher comes and throws the paper at my face. And then she tells me, and I'm staring at her, okay? I was really confident at those days. I was rebellious. I was literally staring at her. And she was like, better than staring at me, stare at your paper. And I pick up the paper and see it's 1 out of 25. So I understood she was right in, throwing it at my face. But then I was not offended because as I told, I was used to it. And then she calls my sister from the other class. Okay, my sister was senior to me, immediate senior, 1 year. And she is a rank holder. So you can understand the pressure I had. Okay, she calls her and she's someone who used to get first rank every time. Okay, had her name on the notice board with all 5 stars, 6 stars. And I am someone who has the name the last of the list. Okay, cleared. She calls her and she tells, Zainab, look at your sister. I am Kulsum, so she is Zainab. So Zainab, look at your sister. She has scored 1. And then my teacher tells me, you are not fit to be Zainab's sister. Okay, better change the relation or better stop telling Zainab is your sister because you are absolutely unfit. Okay, and that day, I got really upset. I was okay with the regular insult which I used to take. But then comparing me with my sister and, putting that pressure that you're really unfit to even share a sister bond with her it was really upsetting, okay? But then something happened. So after that day, something changed in me. Although I hated LHS and RHS theorem, I made sure that I need to crack this. I didn't like maths, okay? Let me tell you. That is why I'm an advocate now. I hated maths. Because for me, it was eventually by hearting. But then I thought, okay, this is not going to happen again. And I started studying every day, day and night. Hide and study in room because my parents didn't expect that I'll study. So if I'm studying, that means something is wrong. So I would hide, go to terrace and study. And then I got 2nd rank in my class. Okay? And then finally, when I reached my 10th, my score was 93%. My sister got 90%. Okay? So, I am fit to be her sister. So what is that one ingredient which you can, pick up, that one skill, which I had learned from that episode of getting one with abusing the wife, and the women are left with no option, let me tell you. Even if they are working in Accenture's Oracles, domestic violence is something which breaks you and tears you apart. And these ladies had no solution because they are not aware that there is a solution. Especially Muslim women, they think marriage is the end, and however your husband treats you is the right way, that is your life. That is not your life. You're thinking that because you don't know the solution. You know, after getting enrolled, I had this lady coming into office, crying, weeping really badly, telling she's going to commit suicide the next day if I'm not able to help her. Because she was a victim of domestic violence from his husband, and his husband had got into some extramarital affair, and all of that happened. So, and I finally told that, when the lady came up, I had to console her, and then I filed a DV application, domestic violence application, and got her protection orders in the court. So these things, it satisfies you a lot, because when you were a kid, you were not able to solve these issues, but now you are able to address that. So law is something beyond money. It gives you money, power, prestige, okay? So I welcome you, all the students here, to our law profession. Again, depends on your choice, but let me tell you, law is the best choice. Thank you.
One thing is very nice to see so many women over here. Really, I think we should give a clap for all the women to have come, And when Sanya started this session today by asking what is career, it actually for women, sometimes it's about proving ourselves. It's not about just earning money, or it's about things. Sometimes you just want to come out and prove yourself because you want to show that not only bringing up children or just cooking and managing the house, you want to even prove that you can do so much more. So that's career for me. At one point, it was that. Because I remember when I am all the presenters today were very, very, very young. I am 54. I feel very old over here. But I just want to share my journey. When I started, I come from a family who's well educated. My father's a doctor, my grandfather's a doctor, my brothers were into medicine. But when I was going to study, my Abba wanted, there's nothing against my parents or anything, but Abba wanted me only to study, to have a ticket to get married. जब शादी होती है, you want to know कि the bride gets a better groom if she is done her post graduation or something. It was never to tell that at that time. I'm telling you, in those days, 93, 95, it was the time when you just had to do something to just get a match. It was of that generation. Maybe some of the parents can relate to this. And after that, when I got married, then also my husband was very proud that I had done some studies and done my PG, and he could also take me around in his social circle, and that I could speak English and of some caliber. But then you had children and you had to tend to children. But always, I had this thing ki I'm not able to start off. So that was the time which I come from, that generation. Now it's so nice to see so many women and so many parents who are bringing the children here, girls especially, who are coming to understand careers and how and what to do. And we had such excellent presenters today who gave you all a different, varied, examples to follow as your role model. And I, having done rehab science, how I started was I had to choose going only to only women college. The choice of going to a co-ed was not there at all. And I come from Trichy, a small place. It was very conservative that time. So I knew very well I liked science. So I wasn't very I wasn't very good in maths like many others who told. So I just took physics, chemistry and botany and zoology. It was called pure science in Tamil Nadu. So I did that, and then I had to choose between the colleges which had some science subjects. So I had thought I should do nutrition and dietetics. Then I thought, should I do zoology because it's about science and all that. And third, there was in Holy Cross, that college of mine, a new building had started, and it was very fancy, that building, and it was set up by one German NGO, and it had rehabilitation science, which are just introduced. To be honest, I didn't understand what I was getting into. Only thing, the building seemed very fancy to me because the rest of the college seemed very, very ordinary. And this building had a German thought to it, so it was very nice and fancy. Then I thought, might as well do it in a nice place where where things are like standing out in the college. So it was just that I went into rehab science totally not knowing what it is. But only thing because I also like had this bug of medicine in it. So we had lecturers who came and taught us about the human body, and rehab science is, we study about the neurodiversity, about intellectual disability, how do you rehabilitate a person and give them a good livelihood. So I had this thing of studying this science subject, which had a balance of medicine and other allied things, and management of how you can manage an NGO and everything. It was an assortment of lot of subjects in it. So that was the thing, and I kept going. But I couldn't work. Because that wasn't the culture that time, even after marriage. So I was in Muscat, and it was just like, and I asked my husband, I want to work. He said, "Tumhe bahar jako kamaye to kitta kamayenge?" He used to ask. Then I said, maybe itta kya ki. Then he said, I'll give you that pocket money, tumhe bachchan ko sambhal lo. Like, like it was like that. So that was it. And but I always had this, like, like, how do I start working? How do I do it? Then it was an opportunity that, like, you have to get this domicile. I had to move from Muscat to Bangalore so that my children are able to get this thing. That's how I came. The moment I came, coming to India was like one huge opportunity, so that at least you can update yourself in whatever you're doing. So and luckily, my husband was very supportive. I had always been studying, though I was not working. When I had two children itself, apart from, I think I also did my diploma in hospital and healthcare management. He told me, you study, you keep studying. I said, why should I keep on studying when I'm not going to work, when I know I'm not going to work? But that helped me, that learning, that journey of continuously being able to study kept thing. Then when I came back to India to put my children in school, I did my diploma in counseling skills. And that gave me an edge where I had to do volunteering and internship as part of the course. So I was indirectly put in different organization to go and volunteer. So I got to know how to work and balance my house. That was a small, like testing the waters when I learned how to do it. And then I convinced my husband that my children's timings was 8 to 3. I told him I will go to a work where I will leave when the children are leaving. I'll come back before they come. And I'll also, like, he was very particular that I go pick them up also. So I chose a school where I could start my work, where I was 8 to 2. So I could balance my work also, and I could balance my house also. So for women, sometimes it's just not proving yourself at work. Sometimes you need to even prove yourself at home and keep the balance. At least then it was like that. Like someone like what's the name, lawyer, she was telling, no, you have to be completely dedicated in that kind of a thing. You have to forget everything. But this rehab work which I did, luckily the school was only for a half a day. It helped me work there also and balance my family life. So that was a very good thing. And actually I started working really into my thing only after my children were into college, and I could live when they were on their own after 12. That was when I think. So I really, like, full time I was 24/7, like almost engrossed into it. I just took it as a vengeance much later in life. But because I did rehab science, I could start at any point because the demand is so much. There is so much demand. We don't realize, we get so carried away by the fancy things which rehab science is, you don't see it coming across so much. So you you think it's not happening or it's not something lucrative or something, but there is a huge demand because of the stress that people are going through and the number of children that are being born with disability, and there is so much of therapy that is required. There is a huge demand. That's how I was able to get a job at 38 years old. That was the first job that I had to do, but I had to prove myself. I had to, the principal, luckily that time in the middle of the year, that was December, somebody had given her papers. She was leading the vocational department, and she had given her resignation that she's quitting. And that time I just approached over there whether I can do some works, anything. And she felt like as though, and she just said, I just now got the resignation and you're entering my place to come and work here. You're God sent, she said. I said, I have come on my own. I didn't understand that because my eagerness was somebody give me a job, somebody. So, but that maybe Allah is also working for you. He's opening the doors when the time is right. So sometimes we need to be patient to know when it is the right time. So when I went there, but I had to prove myself because I didn't have the experience. I had all the certificates, but I didn't have the experience. So she told me, you have to do internship. You have to work as a volunteer. No salary, but full time. You have to work for 2 weeks. If you're proper and things. She thought this one chumma, somebody coming from Muscat, something, she'll just 2 days she will get tired and she'll not come, she said. But the way, it was an opportunity that I was just eagerly waiting for. When this came, I just held on to it and I tried to, update my skill. Always, one thing was that I was always in all the forums, when the digital forums itself, there are so many groups that are there on Facebook. And even I was part of, we have this license that we need to hold as an RCI, Rehab Council of India. We need to do these certificates. So to hold the license, you need to keep going to these many workshops. So I kept on updating myself. So that way, the knowledge of the subject was good. Only thing, it was about proving myself. But when I got that, I started working and I started as the vocational trainer, and then I became the head of it, and I started that way. So I feel, don't give up, especially women. When you become when you're in your parents' house, you can take it a little bit lightly when your mothers and everyone can, pitch in for many things. But when you get married, it's a different setup. You have to have a way to convince and start off in a way where it's a win-win situation, where you're able to balance that you are not neglecting a part of your responsibilities, but you're able to manage. So this is a very good field of work where it's where if you have the skills of empathy, where you are able to understand another person's pain, understand, where you can like to work with humans, children and people. If you have those kind of skills, this is a very good field to take up. Okay, so let's just go through the slides. See, usually people who take allied healthcare, or usually they don't take it as the first choice. Say the right thing at the right time so that you're encouraging them. See, you might see only for a short time, but they look at the child for a longer duration. Instead, you should make them your communication should be so soft and encouraging that you're able to keep them along with you as a co-therapist in the house. And practical experience. This is something where you are able to experience and you will be able to gain through learning. This is a lot is not just by theory. They are not very straight. You will have to be willing to learn through experience. Some of the leading institutions here are where you can go and do these courses: St. John's Medical College, Rajiv Gandhi University, then Ramaya. So these colleges are offering many courses here. So you all can take this as a homework and go and find out where these courses are happening, and you all can take it. And I'm available at the kiosk to answer your question. Thank you very much.
So now we'll be talking about the NEET exam. First, we have to enter the PU like 11th and 12th. At the end of the 12th, you have to give the entrance exam known as NEET. First, the registration will be there. Before 2 to 3 months before the exam, registration will be open for the exam. You have to fill your corresponding like address and everything and all. And next, after that, you have to appear the exam. Mostly, it will be conducted in the month of the May. And next, result will be announced after the like 1 to around 15 days or 1 month of the exam. After that, you have to appear for the counseling.
Next.
The coaching centers for the NEET UGR, there are many coaching centers. Basically, I will prefer the physics wala. Okay, there are many, like first one is the physics wala, which is affordable, like you have to pay around 5,000 per year. And the next one is Alan and Akash. I won't prefer those two. Physics wala is best because the content is concise and they'll teach about कि जितना आपको चाहिए नीट एग्जाम के लिए बस उतना ही काफी है and the tests are very good and they will provide the DPPs like daily practice questions every day, like 50 questions in biology, 50 questions in physics and 50 in chemistry. So prefer the physics wala, it will be like very useful for your preparation. And next, how to start the preparation? Like at the first 6 months, first you have to like build your concepts. Like in the as a NEET exam, it has the 3 subjects: biology, physics, and chemistry. Everyone will face difficulty in physics. In physics, first you have to watch the lectures. Like you can watch offline or online lectures. It depends on you. कि आप जिस पे like you can which one is easier for you. For personally me, I studied from online physics wala. In batch I watched the videos of the physics from that batch. And for chemistry, I studied from my school. Biology also same. My marks are like I scored 335 out of 360 in biology and 175 out of 180 in chemistry and 91 out of 180 in physics. The main thing what you have to do is for biology, like you have to blindly believe the NCERT textbook. Revise as many times much as possible before the exam, like around 15-20 times as as possible. You have to know the each and every line of the NCERT to get the good marks in biology, and practice the MCQs also. And next in chemistry, you can study the like organic and inorganic. You can study by your own. For physical chemistry, you have to depend on lectures and make your own notes and practice the formulas and some questions. And the next,
I'll be telling you about the recommended sources for NEET. For NCERT, 11th and 12th NCERT books are mandatory, which are affordable. For biology, you can refer Truman Biology, but I would rather prefer you to, I tell you to prefer purely NCERT. And for physics, H.C. Verma is the best. And DC Pandey series, DC Pandey is for physics. In DC Pandey, what you'll find is, first you'll find a concept. After that, few questions regarding that. For chemistry, O.P. Tandon is the best. I would not suggest you to read Morrison Bayard. And coaching tests should be done, and question banks daily. Try to practice at least 300 questions, like 100 from each 3 subjects. And the past 10 years, better you would practice 34-year questions or 40-year questions. There's a book available in online called MTG, 34 years MTG, something like that. You can order it from there. Next.
For NEET, as now the many students are giving NEET exam, it will be in the month of the May first week. This time is very important. Like last 6 months is very important. Try to have a fixed timetable and schedule. Like you should give self-study like around 10 to 12 hours and have a fixed timetable. Like I followed this timetable. Like morning I used to give biology because you have to remember many things from the biology, like examples and all. And next afternoon from like 8 to 2 I had school, like I have to go for my PU's college also. And from afternoon from 1 to around 4 or 5 I used to practice the physics because at that time we usually get the sleep and we should have a good attention during this period because the NEET exam is also conducted around the time of 2 to 5 p.m. So you should be very active at that time. So practice the MCQs at that time. And evening quick revision from सुबह से शाम तक अपनी जितना भी पढ़ा है आप just उसको रिवाइज कर लीजिए और practice some of the MCQs which may be like physics or chemistry or the questions which you feel difficulty. And next weekly you have to give at least one mock test around like Saturday or Sunday, but depends on you. You have to give one full lengthy mock test like for 720 marks you have to give. Time management is also very important. Like you have to give the exam in the sense like you have to like physically you have to give like bubbling will be there in NEET exam, no? Same thing you have to practice, like bubbling should be there done, and you have to solve the full test in 3 hours.
Like after getting the results, you will get an All India rank and all. So I'll tell about counseling. First, after getting the marks, the counseling will be held in 2 ways. First is through All India quota. Second is through state quota. First, like All India quota, there will be 15% of seats, but most other seats will come under state quota. That is the counseling gonna held by KEA, Karnataka Examination Authority. Under state quota, there will be many private colleges, government colleges, and deemed colleges with different fee structures. Reservation is very important to secure. Like if you have even borderline marks, if you have good reservation, then you can get easily a government seat in good college. Next slide. And this is the cutoff for 2025. But we Muslims generally fall under 2BG category. You can see in the fourth, this one, 2BG category, or there are few Muslims which come under category 1. So the required marks for those is 485 to 495. Like you should get approximately above 500. Then you will get a government seat in any college. And there are about 73 medical colleges in Karnataka with total MBBS seats of 12,545. If you want any detailed information, you can check in Career 360 or NMC list from government. And there are many dental colleges which are run by those specific medical colleges. So next. Yeah. And these are the top 10 medical colleges of Karnataka. We have first BMC at the first position, after MMC, like that. But Bangalore has 2 government colleges. One is BMC, one more is Bowring and Lady Curzon. That is Atal Bihari Vajpayee. But Atal Bihari Vajpayee is not that top. Like these are the 10 government colleges. Coming to best private medical colleges in Bangalore, these are the best private medical colleges. Like if you can't score above 600 in government, like to get government college, you can opt for these colleges. Like to get into these colleges, minimum you should have 500 marks. Then only you'll get the government seat in this college. The first is St. John's Ramaya. East Point is where I am studying, and BGS is where he's studying. Like this, we have only 8 colleges in Bangalore, which are top. We have many colleges like Dayanand Sagar and all, but they are not that top. And like what like benefits of medicine? If you choose the medicine as your branch, then you will get a lot of respect from the society. Like there are some few days like where my parents and like my relatives used to taunt us, 4 बच्चे ही उनको पढ़ा को क्या फायदा, बोझ बनता ज्यादा, लड़कियों को 12th तक पढ़ा को बाद में शादी कर को, जो ऐसा वैसा बोलने वाले थे. But my parents used to tell like पढ़ो तुम्हें मेहनत कर को पढ़ो, Allah अच्छा है करता. We used to like stick on only studies and namaz, nothing else than that. So there are few times where we didn't attend any wedding in 3 to 4 years during our preparation, and we didn't even had phones and all. So better you stick on timetable, keep working hard and believe in Allah. Try to pray 5 times namaz and all. And second, you go back. And career pathways after MBBS. Once you are done with MBBS, you can get MD or MDS through like you can do MD in like surgery, medicine, and all. And like if you can't get MD seats like after MBBS, like it's very tough to get MD seats. Then you can work as a doctor, like only MBBS doctor in government service, like MO, medical officer in any government hospital, where you will be earning 1 lakh per month. Only as an MBBS doctor, like there is no need to do MD and all. And private practice, like you can open your own clinic or any hospital jobs, like you can work in Shifa and all. Where my sister used to work in Shifa, and she used to get paid very good amount of money. And corporate healthcare, like you can work in PHCs or any district hospitals. And like I'll tell you about the admission in AIMS. There are totally 20 AIMS in India. It offers both MBBS and PG courses in the AIMS. These are the top AIMS. But I would suggest you to prefer MBBS over Ayush and Dental. Why? Because there will be less scope of clinical practice and low salary compared to MBBS doctors and limited opportunities. Like you won't get chance to do PG in surgery, medicine, or ENT ophthalmology, something like that. So I would suggest you, if you are doing, if you are preferring to do be a doctor, then become MBBS or else choose any AHS courses as ma'am has told you. And those who are planning to do MBBS in abroad, I would suggest you to not to do, because after qualifying from the NEET, you are supposed to study in abroad, enroll in foreign medical university, study there for 5 years. After completing MBBS for 5 years, return back to India. After returning back to India, you are not supposed to practice in India. To practice in India, you should do FMG exam. Like it is very one of the toughest exam. Like you have to sit for 2-3 years to study for that exam and clear that exam. And after that only you have to practice in India. That too, you have to do internship for 2 years. They won't give a single rupee. They won't give a single rupee in internship in India. So after completing internship, then only you'll get KMC registration number so that you can become a perfect doctor. So it's a long procedure. It generally takes 10 years to do everything.
Practical tips to improve NEET score. The first thing is the NCRT. You have to go through basically for biology. You have to go through both the NCRTs like 12th and 11th. For chemistry, no need of studying physical chemistry from the NCRT. You have to study from the organic and inorganic from NCRT. For physics, only study the points to remember, which is given at the end of the chapter, and summary points will be given at the end of the chapter. If you do that much, it is more than enough. And next one is practice. Like for physics, you need a lot of numerical question practice. You have to you should maintain that flow of continuously practicing, like consistency should be there. And next one is maintain an error or logbook in which you have to note down the every mistake which you have done during the practicing of the questions or during the mock test. And next one is the work on the time management. This is a very important thing. You have to keep a timer before the solving question. You should give 1 minute for each question. By doing this, you can improve the time management. And
common pitfalls and avoidance, over reliance on coaching notes. Please don't over rely on coaching notes. These coaching people will give you the notes which has deep more information rather than studying NCRT. You people will stick on coaching notes just because lecturers will tell you to study only from these notes, then only you'll become doctor, then only you'll get fit. There's nothing like that. Please don't ignore NCRT. NCRT is the only book which is key for success. Aram se you can score 360 like that. I have scored 335 in NEET when I gave in 2022, and I got 130 in chemistry. But my physics was very weak. I have got nearly about 50 marks in physics, and I ended up scoring 540, which I got government seat. And please don't ignore revisions and tests. Please keep on revising. We both are revised NCRT for 10 to 15 times, more than 10 to 15 times in a year. And please don't skip full length mock test. We have to write a single mock test once in a week for 720 marks. Then only you'll get an idea. Or else writing mock test for 300 marks, 100 marks, you won't give you enough idea. So comparing with peers, please don't compare with your friends, those who are scoring good in mock test. Why I'm not getting these many marks? He's getting good marks. He'll become doctor. I'll not become doctor. It's nothing. It's just a sheet. Please focus on yourselves and try to hard work and pray namaz every 5 times a day and pray tahajjud. It will help a lot. We both used to pray tahajjud twice in a week. We used to wake up in 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock, we used to continue our studies up to afternoon. Like that we used to study. So please keep hard working and try to be a good doctor and serve community.
Welcome. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. First of everything, I want to start with thanking Maymar Foundation, especially Muhammad Ali sir and Siraj sir sitting over here, and of course Ajaz sir for doing this for our community. Let's give them a big round of applause for doing this. It's an honor and privilege to discuss and talk about engineering with all of you here. But we should know what engineering really is. So, what is engineering? Like you guys have watched a 3 Idiots movie where the professor asks the students, what is machine? What is a machine? And Amir goes like, machine is something that lets us ease our lives and lets us build something great. And he doesn't like that definition. But we are going to give a very good definition to engineering now. Engineering is not just about building machines, maintaining machines, or coding softwares, or building softwares. For me, engineering is a mindset. The mindset that teaches us how to solve a problem, how to tackle a problem scientifically. It's the greatest framework in science that lets you efficiently handle any kind of problem. Also, why engineering matters? How does our world work with engineering? From the smallest inventions of mankind, like a cartwheel, to the largest invention, greatest invention, like a space station or a reusable rocket in recent times, exists because of engineering. And engineers have a right mindset, and they should have a right mindset to get a very efficient and deep understanding of scientific concepts to bring about any solution to any kind of problem. So yeah, as we speak in this session, in the recent times, 2 or 3 days back, the tech giant Amazon has laid off about 14,000 employees, which includes the tech employees as well. So should we be worried about this? For those of you who are going to pursue engineering in your colleges, should you be worried? Should engineering be your career choice? Now, to answer that, I'm going to start with a short story of mine. I was in my 12th grade, and I went to one of my uncles and I asked him, engineering karna chahiye kya? Engineering karna kya? Should engineering be my choice? He said, beta ek patthar le और हवा में फेंक रैंडमली. बैंगलोर में अगर तू फेंका तो वो इंजीनियरिंग के सर पे जाके गिरेगा. which means that there is a supply of engineers, there is a huge supply of engineers in our country, but the demand is very less. But I want to mention here that it's not about demand and supply. As students, you don't have to worry about that. Focus on excellence in engineering. Focus on the concepts. Focus on the right methods. Focus on problem solving. Focus on logical thinking. If you're talented enough, nobody is going to replace you. We had our presenters earlier who have mentioned that AI is going to replace the people who don't know AI. But in my opinion, if you are an engineer and you are into AI, you will be the one who will be building the future, which is AI. Now let's talk about what are the different streams in engineering. So first of all, the very popular stream in engineering is the computer science field. Now, what does computer science deal with? Computer science literally deals with the software that you see online, websites and apps, AI, data, and stuff like that. Now, what are the various colleges that offer computer science as a course? We have the top colleges like IITs. I was talking to one of the students at the kiosk side. Some of us are not completely aware of IITs, what an IIT offers. So we have like IIT Bombay, Delhi, IIT Kanpur, Kharagpur, and all of those colleges. What do they offer in computer science? They offer you a 4-year course of engineering in computer science, which basically puts your foundation into your academics of what really computers do. And they give you a framework to build software and to code. Now, there are some tier 2 colleges as well in our country, which is the BITS Pilani, the triple ITs, the NITs, and etc. Now, to get into these tier 1 and tier 2 colleges, you have to write an exam called JEE Mains and JEE Advanced, which is for IIT specifically. We'll get into that later. But if you are staying in Bangalore and you want to get into colleges in Bangalore, then the best options would be to join RVC, PES, BIT, and colleges like that. Next, we have the ECE stream, which is the second popular stream, in my opinion. Obviously, there is IS and there is AIML coming up now. But after all of these tech streams, there is ECE stream as well, which basically has a foundation for building or designing electronics, and also it teaches you about networks. Now, what are the top colleges for ECE? IITs also do offer ECE as a course, and obviously the NIT Warangal is a best option, and BITS Pilani, of course, is a good option. And coming to the next branch, which is the mechanical branch, which the girls hate the most. I mean, I've not seen many girls getting into these mechanical branch, but there are more boys in it. What does it deal with? It deals with the machines, engines, engineering, design, and stuff like that. IITs do offer mechanical engineering, and the NITs, of course, triple ITs. The RNSIT, this RVC, MSRIT, this top tier 3 colleges also offer mechanical engineering. Akash, Physics Wala, and etc. They offer a very good organized framework for studying for these exams, in my opinion. And you will have weekly assignments, regular mock tests, and also it helps you in regularly appearing, self-evaluating. I mean, they'll obviously help you with the doubts and stuff. And there's also peer learning. You get to learn from people, you get to learn from the professors. Yeah, that's a plus point about coachings. What if you want to self-study at home? That is also an option. It has a flexibility and independence. You don't have to go anywhere. You can study at home. If you think you're really good at physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and you don't want to waste your time in coaching institutions, you should probably opt for self-study. And finally, in my opinion, for the coaching, the best thing is that you make it hybrid. Like, if you want to go for a coaching institute, please go for it. There's no harm in it. But then you have to manage your time. You have to manage your colleges, like the pre-universities, and you have to come back home, study well, spend some 4 to 5 hours, give your time, give your best in the mock tests, gradually increase your marks, percentages, and finally, when you appear for the actual exam, you will be performing well. Now, let's talk about what is computer science and engineering. Computer science is a branch of engineering which teaches you about how computers work and how the code or the program is being executed on a computer. And the architecture, the design, of course, how the computers work. Computers you might have seen engineers in your circle जो laptop लेके बैठे रहते हैं कभी भी, who are hitting their keyboards with their fingers. कुछ भी आवाज आते रहता तो what are they doing? उनका काम क्या है? उन्होंने क्या करते हैं? That is gonna be explained by my.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Amna, and I've done my engineering in AIML, so I'm a BE AIML student. And I think I'm coming in between you and biryani. Just handle a few more minutes. I think we can wrap it up fast. So, why computer science? All of us want to, can we see how many people here want to take CSE, Computer Science Engineering? Raise your hands. Okay, that's a lot of people. And how many of here want to take engineering but not computer science? Okay, there's someone. That's great. So coming to why computer science, what, can you change this slide? So what does computer science as a course have to offer us? So the first thing is problem solving and creativity. So we learn how to solve problems. Like everything in technology, we find a problem and we find a way to solve it. I'm sure all of you have heard about Ola and Uber. Why was that made? We didn't want to go on roads and say, bhaiya ruk ja, bhaiya ruk ja. So an Ola and Uber were made. And then WhatsApp, instant messaging, things like that. So the thing about coming into technology and especially computer science is you got to find a problem and a reason to solve it, see if technology can solve it, and you build a solution for it. Coming to high-paying, future-ready jobs, I think Faisal has already spoken about it. You probably get paid 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the number goes on. But there's a twist here. Not everyone gets a high-paying job, and I think it's very important for us to understand this. So our tech community, like Faisal also said, that when you throw a stone in Bangalore, it will land on an engineer, right? So there's a lot of supply, no demand. I would say, I think there is demand out there, but there's demand for skilled engineers. So a lot of people come to our college as well, and I've heard recruiters say ki humko engineers chahiye, like my company also wants engineers, but they're not able to find the right skilled people. So I believe this is somewhere where we all lack. We go to a college, we learn all these ancient theory that they teach us, and we lack to build skills. So if you want to get into computer science, I think I would like to mention that it is very important to skill up. Now, what do we skill up? You have many things like YouTube. Just go to YouTube and say, I want to become an engineer. What do I learn? Learn a language, learn things to build, learn to identify problems and solve them. Also, obviously, computer science is used in every industry, from healthcare to finance, everywhere. Recently, I also heard that there's an AI being made for tax filing. So also globally, it's everywhere. You can work every country has opportunities in the field of technology. Can we move to the next slide? Cool. So the student roadmap. I think I would start from the last one, that is stay curious. It is very important to stay curious. Ki kya banana hai? What do I do? What do I build? Ask questions. I see many of you here, I'm sure all of us have questions in our mind, but we hesitate to ask. I think get over it. Start asking. My CEO says, our co-founder says, that no question is stupid as far as it's giving you clarity. If something is giving you clarity, even if the world thinks it's stupid, ask it. So that's something that's really important. And coming to staying curious, I would say that, when you're in college or say school, no one will come up to you and guide you. It's very rare that we have occasions like this. Go to people, find mentors, ask them, what is it? This is what I want to do. How do I do it? Approach people, build your connections, build a network. Stay curious also comes up with communication. Now I'm curious, how do I go and ask my professor कि मुझे जो है AI पढ़ना है? I go and be like, sir, वो मुझे actually, he'd be like, बोल क्या रहे हो भाई? So something like that. So it's very important that you learn communication. You're young, but when you grow up, it will be really helpful because we all, as human beings, are very dependent on each other. And it's important that we learn to communicate. Otherwise, the person in front will not understand. You might be the best developer in the country, but if you can't go and explain what have you built and how have you built it, no one will get it from you. Also coming to join tech communities. So it's very important to be around people who have the same passion and the same motivation. If you're around people who like to bunk classes, who do not like to study, you'll be like them. Your friend group defines you. So find these groups, find people who are better than you. If you're the best in your group, then you're in the wrong group. Also, coming forward to building small projects. How many of you keep forgetting things? Day-to-day life, that's me for sure. So I'm sure people who have computer science here have taken Python. Python they might have started teaching you. So you can build a small to-do list app, that will remind you. You go every day in the morning, build an app for yourself, start making these small projects which will help you. Technology is a daily thing. You don't have to build something big. You don't have to build an Ola and Uber. You have to build something small, something effective, something that makes a difference. Also, I think basics is very important, not just in programming or computer science. I think even physics, chemistry, math, anything you're learning now, basics is really important. And by the end of the day, if your basics are not great, you can't build something big on top of it. But you will always have consequences of it later. It's going to be hard for you later. Yes, studying is hard. Yes, being focused is hard. But if you can choose the right hard at the right time, probably it will be easier for you in the future. So I would like to end, saying choose the right hard.
Okay, can you just raise your hands again? Who got convinced to do computer science after hearing Faisal and Amna talk? Like who previously were not thinking about it, but now thinking about it? Okay, no one got convinced. Okay. So, okay, who is interested in computer science? Just raise your hands again. Okay. So, cool. So, whoever raised their hands, right? I think it's really important for you to really ask yourself why you want to do computer science. Is it because of money? Is it because people told you it's cool? Or is it because your friends are doing it? Because I think at the end of the day, you're only going to be happy doing something that you truly feel that you're passionate about. So it's not, I feel like the role has been romanticized a lot. People say that it's a really chill role, it's a really chill job. But I think there's a lot more to it. You need to be really curious, you need to be really passionate, and you need to have the urge to work on something pioneering. Otherwise, I feel like, you may feel like you're stagnant and you're not going to grow. So anyway, that was just an introduction, and I'm going to talk about these slides now. Okay, so now we're going to talk about salaries and growth trends. So generally, salaries start around 5 to 10 when depending on where you're graduating from and which company you get in. So usually companies like Infosys and TCS, they hire a lot of computer science engineers, and you usually start around 5 to 10, but that's also total compensation. So, so this is not something really relevant for you now, but when people say that they got like 50 lakh packages or like 60 lakh packages, those are usually inflated numbers, and they don't actually earn that much per year. So those numbers are usually added up. Like build a website, you have something called Lovable. If you wanna, so Lovable basically is just like you enter your idea and it builds a whole website for you, which is really cool. Next thing is tech founders. Okay, I mean these are like famous Indian tech founders, Narayan Murthy, Baju, and Indian startups like Swiggy, Zerodha, Ola, Razorpay, Baju. Yeah, so I mean I'm sure you've all heard of this. Anyway, so. Yeah, thank you so much. Please remember that you need to be really passionate about whatever field you decide, and you need to ask yourself why you want to take whichever field you decide to choose. So, cool. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have been given the toughest task in my life. This is the last lecture. I think all are having hungry level of 9 out of 10. Am I right? Yeah. But I have to keep you awake. Yeah, I've been given 2 tasks. One is about scholarship and to give the concluding remarks. Let me do it very fast because I know you cannot withstand. You are at the threshold now to go out. Let me do it quickly. Now, all of you parents, सबको एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है बच्चों को पढ़ाने में. Number 1, पैसा कहाँ से लाएंगे? Because I am not that rich, our family is not that rich, and I cannot afford. I know so many parents जो यहाँ बैठे हैं, they come after they getting the CET admission also, the fees is about 80,000 or 90,000. They don't have money. Where to get it? तो इसमें सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम यही है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कर्नाटका हैज गिवन सो मेनी scholarships फॉर especially 2B category for Muslims, but many are not aware of it. इस बार alhamdulillah many parents are aware of that and they have applied for some of the scholarships. Let us go through it briefly one by one. As I told you, this is scholarship is a financial aid awarded to students to help the cover education cost, and it is usually based on academic merit. But government का scholarship में the requirement is just 50%. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको 80%, 90% लेना है. Whoever is just 50%, they get the scholarship. And the best part is you don't have to repay it. It is not a loan. Okay? Most of the scholarships are not loan, except one or two, which I will go through it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you have listened throughout the day that what is the career, how to decide it, which path to take it. So I wish you all the best to take a right decision at the right time and be consistent and do what your heart says and work hard on it. Thank you so much.
Her father is a Arabic teacher. Alhamdulillah, with this anything, I think she has cracked NEET and she got a government seat. So big hand to her. Yeah, she will be sitting in the kiosk. So along with the other medical students, you can ask, especially girls, you want to ask so many questions. She is available. She can guide you. She can help you and counsel you. With these few words, let me close my topic and Sania can go forward. Thank you.